Hey YouTubers, how's it going? Sharon here again, or Granny, either one. I have 5 grandkids, so anybody can call me grandma, that's fine with me. I was going to talk a little bit about kratom and then talk about some other stuff. I want to be clear that I don't recommend kratom, to use kratom unless you're trying to manage a chronic illness, and then it can be very helpful. But if you're taking it to feel good or to get high, well, I got corrected in some comments because I said you don't get high. Well, I don't know what high is, I guess. I never used hard drugs. But I can remember when I first started taking kratom years ago, I would get kind of a rush and have a lot of energy and tear into my house and clean it really good. And I mean, it was all good. I never did anything stupid. I never drove impaired. It would help me on long trips when I was driving, help me not to fall asleep, help me not to have restless leg syndrome and have to get out of my car and run around the car. But I guess that's what people are saying high is. And I kind of don't believe it. I'm sorry, but I don't think people are dying for that rush. I don't think people lose all their teeth and get their kids taken away for that little bit of a rush you get when you initially start taking kratom. So I don't think you can compare it to hard drugs. That's my opinion, okay? But anyway, that doesn't last. So you could be, working up a strong dependency for something that's not going to do anything for you if you're not using it to manage chronic illness. And any kratom is good for pain, it's good for anxiety, and it's good for depression. And if you can use kratom to replace those prescription drugs, I personally feel you're better off, okay? But I don't think you should take kratom and keep using all your meds. They might cancel each other out. It might cause some kind of a reaction that's not good. But I did get somebody on kratom that was on Klonopin, Zoloft, Effexor, Boost Bar. Almost all the meds were for depression and anxiety, and he'd been on them for years and years. And he had taken all his meds the day I gave him a tiny dose of kratom just to try it. He felt better than he'd felt in years and years. And so, I mean, I think it will work even if you are taking all those meds. But your goal is to get off of those, okay, and take something more natural. So I would start off right off the bat use kratom. If you're on, and I also have a couple of customers that take gabapentin every day and kratom every day, and they've had some serious kidney problems. So, I mean, they might have anyway just from the gabapentin, but I don't know. I would tell my doctor, if he was prescribing gabapentin, I would tell him you were taking kratom. I don't tell my doctor I'm taking kratom because I'm not taking anything else, and they don't know what it is here in Wyoming, but somewhere urban area they probably do. But anyway, if kratom can replace other prescription drugs, or just about all prescription drugs, so that should be your goal. Okay, I said that. Oh, the euphoria doesn't last, okay, unless you're taking the really strong extracts. And I got into kind of an argument on a different video with somebody, because this person was actually advertising an extract and how great it was. And he does advocate taking kratom breaks and using kratom responsibly. And to me, he ruined everything he'd ever said by advertising those extracts. I don't think that's responsible. And so I said that. And I just said extracts will skyrocket your tolerance. I don't think there's any need for it. And it's so much easier to get in trouble taking the strong concentrates. And this lady argued with me and said she'd used the extracts and it was, well, I don't know, it worked for her, and that no addicts, people weren't getting addicted to the extracts. Well, I know that's not true. My daughter and son-in-law have a kratom store. And the thing is, they don't start out being addicted. And they have money. She said it's too expensive. Addicts are going to use the powder because it's dirt cheap. Well, you would have to shovel the kratom into your body to get the concentrated alkaloids you're going to get in extracts. And most people couldn't do that. So you're just not going to skyrocket your tolerance with the powder. If you take it every hour or every couple hours, you can. But nothing like the extracts. But anyway, and she said addicts can't afford the extracts. Well, the point is they weren't addicts when they started. And they do end up using money they shouldn't when they get addicted to the extracts. And their card will be declined. They'll have all kinds of problems, because they became addicted to it. And it can happen really, really fast. It can happen within a few days, actually. Okay, something else I wanted to mention. For people that are wanting to take a break and finding it hard, I just talked to somebody, one of my customers yesterday, and I thought it was really a good idea. She would take like a teaspoon of kratom in the mornings with her coffee, and then she had a dose for mid-afternoon. She said she'd start feeling a slump around 3 o'clock. And she would make that like a little shot, but it's just the powder, like another teaspoon in a little vial she had with water. And she put that in her purse, and she would take that to work. And then, she would know that she had that. And then when she started feeling the slump, she would take her little shot. Well, she's taking a break now. And so she just puts water in that little shot thing, and it started out, it would have residue in it. And so she'd get a tiny bit of kratom, a minute amount, but she's doing that like twice a day, and she hasn't put any more kratom in it for over a week. And for her, she didn't have any withdrawal. That worked. So it can be a very minute amount that will take away your withdrawal symptoms. And psychologically, she felt like psychologically she was getting her shot in the afternoon. And that worked for her. So I thought, I'm going to pass that on. I think that's a great idea. Also, I wanted to talk about a couple of products that you may not know about. Hi. Sorry, I had to get really close. But we're friends, right? This really helps with restless leg syndrome, which would help with kratom withdrawals, because that's the number one symptom that happens to people when they try to take breaks, is they get restless leg syndrome. Take a scoopful of this and some water, or a lot of people make a little hot drink out of it before they go to bed, and they don't get the RLS, restless leg, RLS. I've written it out so many times, I don't say it that much. So try that, get some of that. And you can get small containers. I got that at Costco, and I take it every night, so I need the big containers. And it's not that expensive. Also, if you think you've hurt your liver taking kratom or drinking or anything else, use this. And I've also known people that have been able to quit drinking just taking this. There's something about it that makes you not want to drink. And it just takes one capsule, milk thistle, but it cleans your liver. And there's been people that were dying from liver disease that turned it around with milk thistle. Google it, you'll find it on the internet. So I wanted to recommend those two things. And the last thing I just wanted to suggest is we should challenge each other to see how much we can move throughout the day. The best thing you can do for your body is to just move. Get some kind of exercise every day. And I am horrible at it. I'm retired. I can sit on my couch and watch YouTube videos all day and surf the net all day. And I'm actually pretty political, and I get all involved in political debates. I'm pretty religious, and I can get all involved in religious debates. And before I realize it, the whole day's gone. And I've sat on my ass basically all day. So I am going to work on not doing that. I used to walk a lot, and when I was in a bad car accident about 2.5 years ago, and I pretty much quit doing anything that looked like exercise at that time. And it's way past time to get back in gear. But I read a book years ago. It's called Moving Heals, Setting Kills. And it was written by a doctor. She was a doctor to the astronauts. And I don't know if any of you are as old as I am and can remember watching when the space shuttles would land and the astronauts would get out of the space capsule. They could barely walk. They would be all bent over and can barely walk. And that's because they had just spent maybe upwards to a year in zero gravity. Space is zero gravity. And that breaks down your body. So when they got back to Earth, they would be like they were 100 years old. They would be all stooped over and could barely walk. And her job was to get them built back up. And she did. And it was just with exercise, good nutrition and exercise. And it wouldn't be long at all. And they were back to normal. But sitting or laying mimics zero gravity. So if that's how you're spending the majority of your time, your body can't heal itself. You got to move and get, your body moving, getting blood through your system and all those good healing properties, good nutrition that you've put in your body. Get it move through your body, and don't let things just sit there in your digestive system and not move through it. And you will notice a difference. And of course, I have no excuse because physically I'm fine. But there's people that do have good excuses. But I'm going to challenge you to move as much as you can. And, if you can walk, if you can run. I can't. I'm too old. And I pee my pants, okay? That started when I was young, actually, after my first baby. But if you can run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Do something. Sit in your, if you are in a wheelchair or bedbound, have some kind of something where you can pull yourself up and get some kind of exercise every day. And your body will respond. God did create our body to heal itself. And it's up to us to do the best we can to make that happen. So I just wanted to say that. If you have some ideas for people that are bedbound or in a wheelchair and aren't mobile, put them in the comments so people can read. Maybe you've been through that and you were able to work yourself out of that. I haven't. I've just gotten lazy since I've retired. And there's really very few days that I have to do anything. I can pretty much do whatever I want, which is nice. That's one of the perks of old age, is you don't have to work anymore if you don't want to. But I'm going to do something every day. I'm going to commit to that. And I want to hear you are too. And let me know in the comments what you're doing. I want to say thanks for all my subscribers. I'm almost to 700. I can't believe it. There's almost 2,000 comments on my old video that I made about kratom 2 years ago. And that's been fun, getting to know some people. So please like and subscribe. I'll rarely remember to say that, but I did this time. And I said, and I'll keep my promise, the first dollar I make off YouTube, I'll do a kratom giveaway. So nice talking to you, and keep up the good work.